In 2020, the United States declared the coronavirus a public health emergency. The COVID-19 Public Health Emergency, or PHE for short, allowed the government to suspend or change laws to mitigate the effects of the pandemic. This included providing CalFresh households extra benefits called emergency allotments and a provision that required the Medi-Cal program to keep beneficiaries continuously enrolled, meaning beneficiaries were not discontinued during the pandemic. Now, after 3 years, California is winding down its state of emergency. In the studio today to talk about the Medi-Cal Continuous Coverage Unwinding are Eligibility Supervisors Eleanor Belmonte and Carolyn Spain. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Good morning.
So, give a brief overview on how the renewal process took place pre-pandemic.
So prior to the public health emergency, our Medi-Cal cases were renewed every year on an annual basis to determine program eligibility.
And then the pandemic hit. What changed?
So the big change with the pandemic was that for the last several years we were not allowed to discontinue any of our Medi-Cal beneficiaries. It falls under what's called continuous coverage.
There was also special programs that took place as well. What were those?
Yes, one special program specifically for individuals who had COVID-19 was the uninsured group program. That was a program to take care of anything that was medically necessary from their time with COVID-19. That program ended May 31st.
And it's June now, but April 1st was an important date. Why is that?
So April 1st was the beginning of the unwinding from the continuous coverage requirement. So the continuous coverage requirement ended March 31st, and effective April 1st, our Medi-Cal applications, including our Craig versus Bonta for our former SSI, SSP recipients, will now need to be processed on the state mandated timeframes. Also, our first batch process for the Medi-Cal renewals that are going to be due in June, or that are due in June now, went through the first week of April, from April 1st to April 11th. So again, these are for our June Medi-Cal renewals. If auto renewal was unsuccessful, these customers have received a renewal packet so that we can attempt to verify their information and determine if they are eligible now.
So you mentioned batch. What is batch?
The batch process is what we use for Medi-Cal and Cover California when we're attempting to, when our system is attempting to automatically re-enroll our customers into the Medi-Cal program. This batch process checks with the Federal Data Services Hub, which has several different state and federal agencies housed within it to try to electronically verify our customers' information.
Okay. Now, packets went out. How are they easily identifiable?
Well, our Medi-Cal renewal packets are going to go out in big yellow envelopes to our consumers.
Great. So there is these packets that have gone out. They're going to come back in force. How are you guys going to keep up with that process?
Our continuous coverage unwinding process is 14 months to return to our normal processes. Okay, Madera County has 35,601 cases as of January 1st, 2023. So Carolyn talked about batch processes. Starting June, we have 17,638 REs that will be due within the next 6 months. Our batch average is lower than usual, so it should batch about 30%. That means there will be 2,057 Medi-Cal renewals that need to be processed by an actual eligibility worker. Now, this is in addition to their workload that they already have, processing CalWorks, CalFresh, Medi-Cal General Assistance homelessness applications, the renewals that they already have in their current caseloads. They also process reports, SAR-7s, add a person, add a program, any changes that a customer is reporting. Aside from that, they also answer phones, they see drop-ins daily, they have trainings, etc. So this is going to be a workload. We have submitted our unwinding plan to the Department of Healthcare Services. We have provided staff with UC Davis training, in-house trainings. We have also updated our DSS intranet. Okay, there's an icon, a Medi-Cal icon, and it is the Continued Coverage Unwinding resources, where we have added so much information when they're processing an RE. If they are stuck on a question or on a process, they can refer back to that.
Those are some really great resources. So in addition to all the changes and that you have already, there's going to be another one, January 2024. What is that change and why is it important for staff to know?
Correct. So all our Medi-Cal beneficiaries ages 1 through 25 and 50 or older receive full scope Medi-Cal regardless of their citizenship. So effective January 1st, 2024, all Medi-Cal beneficiaries ages 26 through 49 will also start receiving full scope Medi-Cal regardless of their citizenship. In addition to that, there was a change in July of 2022 where our Medi-Cal asset limit was increased from $20,000 to $130,000 and an additional $65,000 for each additional person. Effective January 1st, 2024, there will be no more assets. The asset limit will be eliminated from Medi-Cal.
That's actually great to know for the beneficiaries. So if staff have questions about all of this information, where can they go?
Staff can go to their immediate supervisor, or we also have a continuous coverage work group, which they can email at dss-ccu.
Excellent. So if we have a client or a beneficiary who have questions about the unwinding, or maybe they want to become a member, who can they contact?
So a Medi-Cal beneficiary, someone already receiving Medi-Cal, can contact their eligibility worker. Now, if they have general questions or they want to apply for Medi-Cal, they can visit any one of our offices in Oakers, Chowchilla, or Madera. They can also apply at Benefits Cal or Covered California. They can send an application by mail, they can bring it in person, they can fax it, or they can call our main offices.
Thank you so much for coming in today, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that concludes this episode of Inside Track. If you have questions about today's episode or have suggestions for future episodes, you can direct those to the DSS Media Studio mailbox. Tune in next month for another episode of Inside Track. For the DSS Media team, I'm Ashley Monk. Thank you for watching.